folks, today we're going to talk about, yet again, the downsides of you deciding to be fat, ugly, and poor. It's a life filled with misery, it's a life filled with depression, it's a life filled with hemorrhoids. You want to be that guy that gets intimate with a woman and passion starts flaring up, and all of a sudden you end up in doggy style for a woman? Because those are the type of things that I do. But I'm not a guy walking around fat, ugly, and poor. So you'll catch me in doggy style, spreading myself wide open for a woman, and have her munch on my ass. These are the things, these are the benefits, these are the perks of not being fat, ugly, and poor. Unfortunately for you, you don't have these privileges because you're a fat back. And all the creases and crevices in your back start to sweat. And all that sweat goes to the middle of your spine, starts going down your back, into the crack of your ass, forms what is called swamp ass. And as you would imagine, all that bacteria and all that gunk starts to form a smell that's unbearable when you get in doggy style, so you'll never get to experience the pleasures of having a woman munch on your ass. These are the downsides of being fat and disgusting. So as a man, you are obligated to Looksmax. Or you can do whatever you want, but then I don't want to hear you complaining about these women. I don't want to hear a word when it comes to these. See, today we have the perfect example. I want you to meet Demetria. Demetria from the hood. Demetria ghetto gagger. Demetria's my type of girl. I like these type of women. Nothing better than back shots from a ghetto gagger like Demetria. Demetria's the type of girl to give you $4,000 from her tax money so you can put new rims on your car. These are the type of girls that I'm looking for. These are the type of girls that I love. But Demetria is a perfect example of why you should always Looksmax as a man. You see, back in high school, there was a guy named Herman. And Herman was a sub-5, incel, waste of a human. And this is what he looked. I mean, look at him. The guy was short. The guy was ugly. The guy had no neck. The guy was a freak of nature. So let's see what Demetria had to say about Herman, the sub-5 human.
8-year-old Demetria from Kansas City, Missouri. She went to school with a guy named Herman who had a big-time crush on her. Demetria admits that she rejected Herman constantly, but she says he was too skinny and scrawny for her. Way too soon. Well, Herman says he's changed, and Demetria missed out. Herman is waiting backstage, and we're going to see what he looks like in a moment. But first, Demetria, tell me what you remember about Herman.
Herman was skinny, and he was scrawny. Actually, he looked like Tattoo from the guy on Fantasy Island.
Ooh!
He was a small guy. He was, and I mean, wasn't much there to want to go out with.
How small was he?
His elbows were, his whole arm was probably size up.
The wrist?
My
My goodness. Now, he had a big-time crush on you.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about that back then?
I couldn't go out with him looking like that.
Now, before we continue, let's just go over what she just said. Herman looked like Tattoo from Fantasy Island. I had no idea what she was referring to, so I looked it up on Google.com. I went on Google.com, and this is Tattoo from Fantasy Island. So this loser Herman was walking around high school approaching women looking like this freak. I mean, let's just be real. Tattoo from Fantasy Island looks like a circus freak. And Herman was approaching women in high school looking like him. You see, this is the audacity we're talking about. A lot of these guys have the audacity. A lot of these guys have the entitlement that women just bow down. Women just give them the back shots. A lot of them give them the back shots just because. They don't put any work, they don't put any effort. You're basically a self-5 human. You don't even exist. You're a circus freak. But of course, women should like you anyways just because. And notice what Demetria, the ghetto just said. I couldn't go out with him looking like that. Because there's other guys. Hey, Herman, what about the other guys that look way better than you in high school? What about them? Well, they're supposed to take a back step to you, you circus freak. You didn't put any work in high school. So the guys that put in the work, the guys that were genetically better than you, reaped all the rewards. Folks, I'm going to tell you something before we continue. We hear a lot of talk about these guys that are just naturally gifted, aesthetically pleasing gods. They just are that way just because. What these people don't notice is these people have daily habits that make them look this way. You get any super ultra omega Chad, you start pumping him with milk, with pizza, cheese. Pizza, ice cream, a whole bunch of junk. He sits around all day, just goons for hours upon hours. Doesn't dress well, doesn't groom, doesn't wash his face, doesn't wash his ass. Let's see how he looks in about a year. Let's see how far his genetic superiority gets him. in about a year of these horrible habits.
I can go out with him looking like that.
But why? Aren't we supposed to like look inside the person? I mean, looks are just looks, aren't they?
I saw through him when I looked at him.
So, what did the other kids in high school treat him like?
Like he was scrawny.
Really?
Yes.
Did they tease him a lot?
Yes.
Did they call him names besides tattoo?
No, mainly just tattoo. He was just so scrawny. He wasn't much to just, he just kind of looked over, basically.
Was he a nice person?
Didn't take much time to find that out.
Oh.
And see, notice, that's another thing these loser sub-5 humans always talk about. You know, that guy over there, he wouldn't treat her as good as I would treat her. I'll treat her like a queen. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You're fat and ugly. Nobody has time for the fat and ugly. Go hide in the basement. You belong, you circus freak. Nobody likes you. Nobody wants to be around you. Your mom probably doesn't even like you. Your mom's probably disgusted by you, by the image, the sight of you. So what makes you think people give a damn about your stupid personality? Now, thankfully for Herman, he learned his lesson. All the rejection, being denied in high school, not being able to give Demetrius some lit a fire under Herman, and he went out and made some changes. And he made it so that Demetria would never be able to deny him ever again. So let's see how far this mindset took Herman. Let's see the results of all his effort, all his work.
Wrong. Will the real Herman please step forward? Oh!
Whoa! Shannon Sharp! Hey, Skip! What do you think about now, Skip? Now looky here, Skip. Herman went from a circus freak, disgusting animal, sub-5 human, to a dark chocolate Shannon Sharp with big trapezoids. And look at his deltoids and his biceps. And look at the forms, look at the hands on him. Herman became a man's man. And look at the reaction of Demetria. Demetria cannot contain herself anymore. Remember, this was the circus freak from high school. This was the guy she didn't even give the time of the day. She didn't even get to know how nice he was. But things are different now. I'm watching Shannon Sharp's twin brother while he flexes his muscles, and my asshole is pulsating right now. I'm a guy and I'm not even gay. Just imagine how Demetria's vaginal canal is acting up right now at the sight of this man.
Herman, you know,
That ain't real.
I just don't know what to say. Oh, no. Demetria,
That's not real. Let me see.
you don't think it's real?
Yeah,
Let me see.
yeah. Come see. It's real. Oh my goodness. Ooh,
Well, you go ahead, Herman.
that's what I said.
How are you doing? Thank you for joining us today. So, Demetria, what do you think? He has changed a little bit.
A little bit.
Are you surprised?
I'm surprised.
Did you think she would be so surprised, Herman?
Yep, I knew she would be surprised.
Now, how long has it been since you've seen Demetria?
About 11 years.
11 years?
11 years.
Folks, 11 years of trauma being used as fuel to get to the level where he's at now. And this is what I'm talking about. This is why I always preach against being fat, ugly, and poor for this exact same reason. Right now, Demetria is not on Herman's level anymore. Herman has become something of a fantasy, a sexual fantasy. Herman isn't even a real guy. This type of guy doesn't even exist in real life. Look around. Look around right now. How many guys look like Herman? Everybody's fat. Everybody has hemorrhoids. Now, how many girls look like Demetria? I mean, you walk around here, there's a million Demetrias everywhere. They got 6 kids, blown out pussy, fat knees. And they can only dream and fantasize about a guy like Herman. Their baby dad has tits. Their baby dad is probably in prison. Their baby dad is broken, poor, and disgusting, and fat, and ugly. This isn't a reality because, statistically speaking, this is what's available. But let's hear from Herman how Demetrius treated him back in high school.
Go ahead, tell her what you wanted to say.
I used to go to her and be like, hey, what's up? Her nickname is Michi, right? And I said, hey, what's up, Michi? She was like, what you want now? I'm like, what's happening on for real? Let's hook up and go out sometime. She's like, boy, please. And I like, all right, it's cool. It's cool.
Well, Herman, how do you think she look after 11 years?
She look good still.
Thank you.
She looks good still, yeah.
That's nice. Now Herman, you had a big time crush on her, didn't you?
Big time.
What did you like so much about her back then?
Her butt.
See, it's always about the back shots. The back shots are always the biggest motivator out there. Demetrius would treat him like dog in high school. But the thought of that creamy, black, dark chocolate giving out the back shots and nicking on the pussy, oh my God, drove Herman to the point of insanity. To the point where he went to the gym, pumped himself full of steroids just so he could look like Shannon Sharp's younger brother. So now the question is, how does Demetria feel about Herman now? Is Demetria interested in Herman now? And even better yet, will Demetria allow Herman to hand out the back shots?
How do you feel about tattoo now? Because he got it going, huh? Now you got to think about what's out now.
Thank you.
I think now he's buffed. And I think
he is.
Now I think all he needs is a little wax.
I think he's darn near perfect looking now. Would you go out with him now?
Of course.
Oh, you would?
Why not?
Herman? Our audience doesn't think, I don't know, does our audience think that he should go out with her?
Well, folks, there you have it. Don't be fat, don't be ugly, don't be poor. If you're a sub-5 worthless human scumbag, don't accept that as your reality. Herman was a sub-5. Look at Herman now. Got all the hoes in the audience creaming themselves.